Everywhere you look, traders are chasing the same thing: the perfect strategy, the holy grail, the magic formula that wins almost every time. I'm here to tell you it's a lie. Not because strategies don't matter, they do, but because chasing the perfect one will waste your time, drain your energy, and probably keep you losing money for years. And if you think that's just me being dramatic, wait until you hear about a trader who actually found the perfect strategy and still managed to blow up his account in 30 days. By the time we're done here, you'll understand why the perfect strategy doesn't exist and what actually matters instead, and how to build a trading foundation that lasts. This isn't theory. This is years of trial, error, hard lessons, and eventually, breakthrough. You can hand me a list of 500 trading strategies right now, and I could point to someone making money with every single one of them. Moving average crossovers works for some. Fibonacci retracements, someone's killing it with those. VWAP fades, breakouts, supply demand zones, option spreads, all work in the right hands. That's the key, the right hands. The problem is most traders are using their left hand. Most traders are conditioned to think that there's one strategy, the best strategy, the one that's going to solve all of their problems. And because of that, they fall into the trap of constantly searching for it. Mike could talk trading with anyone. He could explain MACD divergence, how a bull flag forms, the mechanics of an iron condor. The guy had done his homework. But here's the thing. Month 1, scalping the E-minis on a 1-minute chart. Month 2, Mike was swing trading biotech penny stocks. And month 3, Mike was trying out a crypto arbitrage method he found on TikTok. Every losing streak, scrap the old plan, start fresh with a new one. He called it adapting. But in reality, Mike was hitting the reset button before he'd ever put in the reps to get good. By the time I met him, he'd been doing this for nearly 3 years, still in the same spot he started, looking for what works. He didn't realize almost anything can work if you actually master it. There were 2 guys I knew that started trading within weeks of each other, had the same account size, same online course that they took, and they traded in the same market conditions. Friend A picked a simple breakout strategy and stuck with it for 2 years, refining it, learning its quirks, adjusting for different markets. Friend B, well, he was the classic tinkerer. Breakouts 1 month, option spreads the next, then mean reversion setups after that. 2 years later, Friend A, small but steady growth, confident in his process, making money. Friend B, burnt out, bitter, and convinced the market was just gambling. Friend A didn't find a perfect strategy. He found a strategy and stuck with it long enough to make it work. And that's the thing. The strategy itself is only half the equation, if that. The rest, that's all about you. I could hand 2 traders the exact same set of rules, same market, same entries, same exits, and they'd get completely different results because the secret ingredient isn't the strategy, it's the operator. Lisa traded the exact same breakout setup her friend was using. They even compared trades in real time. Her friend account, it was growing. Lisa's bleeding out. Why? Lisa had a habit of cutting trades early. If it dipped a little after her entry, she'd panic and close. She'd never let her winners hit full target. She'd skip entries if the last trade was a loser, and she wasn't trading the strategy, she was trading her emotions. And emotions, left unchecked, are brutal decision makers. Aaron had a solid mean reversion setup, but every time it triggered, he'd freeze. What if it fails this time? Should I wait for a better price? Half the time, the trade would work without him. The other half, he'd jump in late, right before it reversed. Same rules as the other traders in this group. Completely different results because Aaron second-guessed every move. It's literally like giving 2 people the same diet plan. One sticks to it, the other says, well, technically pizza has tomatoes, so it's a vegetable. Same plan, completely different results. And once you see it's the trader, not the strategy, you start realizing how misleading one of the most hyped numbers in trading actually is. Win rate is one of the most abused stats in trading. You see someone brag about an 83% win rate and think, wow, they must be killing it. But here's the reality. You can win 8 out of 10 trades and still lose money. You can win 4 out of 10 and be massively profitable. Sarah's strategy was short-term options selling. Small, steady gains. Month after month, she barely lost. She told friends it was basically free money. Then one overnight gap went against her. 6 months of profit gone in one trade. The high win rate made her feel invincible, but it was hiding a risk that eventually came calling. Rob's win rate, about 40%. Sounds terrible, right? Kind of similar to mine. But his winners were about 3 to 4 times bigger than his losers. Lose $100, win 3 to 400. Over time, his account just kept climbing. Rob understood what most traders ignore. Win rate is meaningless without knowing your risk to reward ratio. It's like saying you win 95% of your poker hands when you're only betting a penny on the winners and $100 on the losers. So if win rate isn't the magic number and the perfect strategy doesn't exist, what does matter? This isn't sexy and it won't get you thousands of likes on X, but here's what actually matters. Risk management, how much you risk per trade. Consistency, showing up and following your rules every day. Self-awareness, knowing your triggers and your tendencies. David started risking $5 per trade, not to make money, but to practice execution. The first time he lost $500 after scaling up, he said, if I hadn't done months at $5, that loss would have crushed me. Trading small gave him the reps without the emotional meltdown. Kelly's setup worked when she followed it, but she got bored. She'd take trades outside her plan and she'd give back her gains. Once she committed to 90 days of following her rules exactly, she saw what the system could actually do. Spoiler, it worked just fine. She just hadn't been letting it. And here's where most traders blow it. They can't sit still long enough to let this work, which brings us to the trap that kills more accounts than bad strategies ever will. Every time you switch strategies, you reset your learning curve. It's like hitting the new game button over and over before you've even finished the tutorial. Jason started in 2020 with a swing trading course. First month, small profit. Second month, a losing streak. So he switched to scalping. For a week, it felt exciting until volatility showed up and his results tanked. Then it was option spreads. Then crypto momentum plays. I remember him saying, I just haven't found the right fit yet. But here's what he didn't see. Every time he switched, he went back to being a rookie in that style. He'd never been in a strategy long enough to see how it handled different market cycles. It's like trying to learn a sport by switching every 2 weeks. A little golf, a little basketball, some tennis. You never get past being awkward with the fundamentals. If Jason had just stuck to one method for a year, even through the bad months, he'd have built the skill set to adapt and improve. Instead, 3 years in, he's still Googling best trading strategy for beginners. And sometimes, even if you stick with one thing, you can still sabotage yourself by overcomplicating it. A lot of traders picture the perfect strategy, as this is the masterpiece of complexity. 10 indicators, multiple screens, a checklist that takes longer to read than a trade lasts. But complexity breeds hesitation, and hesitation kills execution. Aaron's chart looked like a Christmas tree. He had RSI, MACD, stochastic, Bollinger Bands, moving averages, volume profiles, and that was just on his main screen. One day I asked him, what's your actual entry signal? He laughed and said, when all my indicators line up. The problem, they rarely all lined up. And when they did, half the time, the move was already over. Aaron eventually stripped it all down to one moving average and price action. The first month with a simplified setup, he said it felt too naked, like he was missing something. But within a few months, he realized his decision-making was faster, cleaner, and less second-guessing. It's the same with cooking. A dish with 3 ingredients prepared well will always beat a mess of 15 flavors competing for attention. And speaking of stripping out the noise, that's exactly why I work with Iron Beam. They keep it simple and give me the tools I need to focus on execution, not overcomplication.
Welcome to Iron Beam, the future of futures trading. With our cutting-edge chart trading feature and 300+ indicators, you can now trade directly off the chart anytime, anywhere. Delivering seamless trading across all platforms, the Iron Beam journey is supported by 24-hour trader support, low day trade margins, and no account minimums. Iron Beam brings the future into the present. Join now and augment your trading experience.
Here's the thing. You can take someone else's strategy, copy it perfectly on paper, and still struggle. Not because it's bad, because it doesn't fit you. Dylan was obsessed with a popular scalping method because the trader he followed online made it look effortless. He set up his charts, matched the hotkey layouts, even mirrored the guy's daily routine. The problem? Dylan hated the speed. He froze during fast moves. Trades that should have been quick in and out wins turned into panicked exits for losses. Every day he felt drained, not from the money, but from the stress of a cycle that didn't suit his temperament. After months of frustration, Dylan tried swing trading. Slower pace, more time to think, less screen stress. Within a few weeks, he was noticeably calmer, and his results improved. The style didn't suddenly make him a better trader, it just matched his personality, which let him execute without the constant adrenaline dump. It's like running shoes. The best marathon shoe in the world is useless if you're trying to sprint 100 meters. So here's the truth. The perfect strategy doesn't exist. What matters is finding the one that you can execute with discipline and emotional control. Forget chasing someone else's holy grail. Master your own process. Build the habits that make you the kind of trader who can take any decent system and make it work. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. Here's my challenge. For the next 90 days, no strategy hopping. Pick one approach, trade it small. Focus on flawless execution, not profits. That's how you build confidence. That's how you build skill. And that's how you give yourself a real shot at long-term success. If this hits home, hit the subscribe button and check out the video up on the screen now talking about the toxic trading advice that almost made me quit. That one will change how you see this entire game. Peace.